In this recording, we're going to follow up on what we just did with discovering the rules for transformations in terms of transformation shifts and reflections, and try to apply them in a basic way. So I've got here an activity for you to look at some graphs and down below match them up with particular equations. So let's do one together and I'll give you the rest for practice. So let's pick out the first one. So I'm looking either at a graph or an equation. I'll start with A. It says the parent function is the dashed line. So that's the square root of x function, this kind of half a parabola on its side. Basically what it is. Well, what happened to it? Well, it looks like all the points shifted up 2 units, right? We can see here it went up 2 on the y-axis, so it went up 2. So I need to find the match down here for which number expresses it went up 2 units, shifted up 2 units. And that looks to me like choice 2. So I'm just going to simply write the letter of that choice next to choice 2. And then I'll proceed to work these out. So on your own, I'd like you to find a match by either looking at this and saying, well, I think I know what its transformation is, and might look at this and say, I know it's up 2, find the one that's up 2. Don't spend time graphing these all on your calculator. That's not going to be the best use of your time. It's not going to lead you to real in-depth thinking. Okay, so pause the recording, play it when you're ready for some answers. All right, so hopefully you took time to answer each one of those, and here are the answers. Next, I'm going to have you write some descriptions of transformations that would occur from function f to function g. So we'll look at 4 of them together, and I'll give you some practice time. So first for 9, it says describe the transformations that would map f onto g. So what are you noticing that's different? Well, first of all, we got this plus 4. Think about what that does. Well, we said inside the function, the plus 4 has a particular behavior, and outside the function, the plus 2 has a particular behavior. So write down what you think, then play the recording. Okay, so hopefully you said it shifts left 4 and then up 2. Keep in mind it's the left 4. It's not right, even though it's a plus. So for this number 10, we've got an absolute value function. Over here I also have an absolute value function, but now I've got a negative in front. So think about what that does. Feel free to peek back at your examples on the front page if you like. Then I've got a plus 7 inside. What does that do? Write down your answer, then play the recording. Okay, so that's going to reflect in the x-axis, so it's that negative sign, and then shifts left 7 units. Next, I'd like you to consider 16 and 17. We'll do these together as well. These are more abstract. You can't put these into your calculator because you don't know what function f is. You don't know if it's a square function or a square root or an absolute value, etc. But it doesn't really matter if you understand the rules, right? You understand, okay, this plus 10 is inside the parentheses. It's in the function. What does it do? This minus 7 is outside the function. What does it do? If you don't know, here's 2 ideas. You can peek back at your rules. You could also pretend this is a square function, right? And graph it on your calculator and see the behavior and then say, okay, in general, what would it do? So hopefully you realize it shifts left 10 units and then it would be down 7 units because the 7 is outside the function. It's being subtracted. And then what is negating any function, whether it's an absolute value or whether it's a radical? What does a negative in front do? Write down your answer and then play the recording, please. So hopefully you realized it reflects in the x-axis. So I'd like you to work on each one of those and then play the recording when you're ready for solutions. All right, so hopefully you wrote down the answers, and here they are. The first 2 we already did together, so there are 11 through 16. And then finally, we have the remainder of the abstract examples. These are the ones that you couldn't really put in your calculator, but hopefully you could figure out that this is down 4 units, that this would be a reflection inside, so that's going to go over the y-axis, and this one has two different transformations, the negative sign and the -5. Thanks for watching.